All right, everybody. Welcome back. I cannot hear myself right now, so that does bother me a little bit, but I'm hoping for the best today. Let's see. I'm going to check my audio just to make sure we're all good. But today, I am really excited because it is October, which means it is Hacktoberfest. Trying to get in the mindset because the recording well, I guess like not the recording, but the live studio is kind of acting up today. So I almost thought I wasn't going to be able to go live, but I'm very excited to be here. This is going to be, I think, episode. Hmm. This is episode 8 for Crawl, Walk, Run. And the main things that I've been thinking about this month has been focusing on contributing to open source, skilling up in with our Git and GitHub tools, and then also just kind of, putting some things under our checking off some boxes as far as getting projects up and running. So obviously there's a lot of times where we may work on personal projects, contribute to different assignments that you're given in class. If you take a boot camp or you go to school or whatever the case may be, even if you're just working on a particular training or certification. But this month is really, really designed to kind of, or I should say, this event is really designed to just encourage us as developers to really look and lean into our open source projects, our open source communities, and make sure that we are contributing back to those communities. So today, I really want to talk about a few basics when it comes to getting started with Hacktoberfest. And then I also have a bunch of events that we're going to be running for this entire month that will help you either get comfortable on the command line, upgrade your customization of your command line. We're going to be doing Git and GitHub for those that are not familiar. We're also going to be doing some content on open source workflows, so that may be helpful for some folks as well. And then we'll be having some live streams where we will be, I'll be working on projects that I'm contributing to, and there's also another open source project that I'm going to highlight as well that I'm personally a part of, but also planning to contribute to this month as we are having a hackathon for that project. So I'm going to talk about all of that in this session. And then I'm going to let you all know what are the different workshops and series that are going to be coming up, just kind of like to support all of this. So you have the resources that you need. But first and foremost, I want to start out with Hacktoberfest because not everybody is familiar with Hacktoberfest. And so I obviously just wanted to start there. Now, full disclosure, for anybody that just follows me regularly, I was planning on doing a quote unquote prep timber event because the idea of prep timber is just having an event leading up into Hacktoberfest where you can understand what kind of skills you might want to practice or how to participate. But then yeah, the month ran out. The month of September ran out on me. I don't know. So I just decided to go ahead and make this episode of the podcast centered on just prepping for Hacktoberfest. So I'm going to go through how to participate, what the timeline is, requirements, as well as how to find projects, and then we'll look at what we're planning on doing for this month as far as the workshops and live streams that we're going to be having. And then I'm also going to talk about one open source project that I want to highlight that is having a hackathon this month. So let me swap over and share my screen. And let me also, because it's just me today, let me make sure I check the audio before I get too deep into this. But if you are watching in the audience live, just give me a heads up or a thumbs up or something in the chat just to let me know if you are hearing me well, seeing me well. I want to make sure before I move on. Beautiful. I hear myself. Okay. All right. All right. All right. So let's jump in. Corn Tool, thank you for confirming. Hey to you as well. Okay, awesome. So let's go ahead and hop over. So let me see. I got two computers, so bear with me. I'm controlling a lot of things. I have two mice, two mouses to manage. Let's go here. Okay, so I am at hacktoberfest.com. This is a site that you can always check in on no matter whether you're watching this in real time or if, down the road you are watching this because you want to know more about participating in Hacktoberfest. Now, the special thing about Hacktoberfest is that this year is the 10th anniversary of Hacktoberfest. So it's very, very exciting. I can't remember what year it was for me when I participated for the first time. Like, I've done Hacktoberfest a couple times. I've successfully completed Hacktoberfest, I think at least once. The very first time I did it, I'm pretty sure I completed it. And so it's always kind of been something that I know comes around every year. And I try to plan for it because it's not a huge commitment, but it is a decent amount of commitment as far as the amount of contributions you wanna make in order to kinda successfully complete. So again, we're at hacktoberfest.com, and there is a plethora of things that you're gonna be able to find on the Hacktoberfest website, so just feel free to, peek around here because not only do they have, the ability for you to register, but they have different educational resources that might help you out with learning about Git and GitHub, for example. They have information on how you can find the different projects that are participating and all the requirements and everything. So that's going to be at hacktoberfest.com. So first and foremost, how do we participate? So Hacktoberfest, I use GitHub, so I connect through GitHub. But with Hacktoberfest, you're either gonna be authorizing through GitLab or GitHub. Okay, so I don't use GitLab, but I do use GitHub. So I am able to authenticate through GitHub in order to participate. Now, for the record, I've already gone through this process, so I'm already set up to participate with Hacktoberfest, but I am going to recommend you all to just go through the process here because it's just a quick set of windows. You're going to authorize your GitHub account or your GitLab account, and then your contributions will automatically be verified through that integration. So it's really, really exciting and really easy to do that. Um, and I'm excited for anyone that is going to be doing this for the first time, even if it's your first time doing open source contributions or if it's just your first time for Hacktoberfest. So yeah, you want to make sure you sign up. And for the record, you can sign up anytime between the month of October. So even if you are doing some contributions and you sign up on October 31st, then those contributions throughout that month are still going to be able to be counted. So for the record, yes, you can sign up at any point in time between October 1st and October 31st. But obviously, I recommend just go ahead and sign up since you already know that that's something you want to do. But yes, it does work retroactively. Okay, so that's going to be the sign up. I might actually, I'll come back to mine so I can show y'all at the end what my screens look like because I am already signed up, but I'm not authenticated on GitHub in this profile. Okay, so then let's go into the participation. So first and foremost, signing up, right? Like I mentioned, it's going to automatically verify the different contributions that you're making through GitHub or through GitLab as long as you are signed up that way. So the key to Hacktoberfest, is no big pressure, y'all. It's no big pressure. It's just let's have fun. Let's, really give back to the communities that we benefit from. And enhance your skills as well. I know for me, when I was first getting started, I probably talked about this, but it was always very much encouraged, like, hey, you're trying to get some experience. You just came from a boot camp. Go contribute to open source, which is way easier said than done, right? But so earlier this year, I did an event where we were partnered with Girl Development and Lasagna Love. And with that partnership, we hosted a hackathon in March, I think it was. It was March or April, something like that. We hosted a hackathon where the goal was to make it beginner friendly, right? So, my thought process for this is yes, I understand a lot of people probably already have experience, at which point you probably wouldn't even be listening to me right now if you already know how to contribute to open source. But if it's something that's new to you, That's totally fine. That's totally welcome. Everybody is welcome with Hacktoberfest, okay? So, definitely dive in. And I think for me, it could be different for other people, but I find this to be a more low pressure environment just because when you come into Hacktoberfest, there's a plethora of different organizations, different repos that are going to be participating. And they also encourage both code contributions and non code contributions. So, this is all about the quality over quantity. Now, they do have some kind of like verifications in place to prevent people from spamming contributions, right? That's not what this is about. So it's not just let me make a one character change and submit a pull request just to get credit. That defeats the whole purpose. You're wasting your time and you're wasting the organizer or maintainer's time of the project if you're not really contributing anything meaningful. You're just trying to check off a box. So, as they say, quantity is fun, but quality is key. Okay. Quality is key. So, you're thinking about making meaningful contributions, not necessarily huge, but meaningful, and not just trying to spam, getting as many small things as you can into the process. Okay. Um, so yeah, and then the short-term action, long-term impact. So, I don't know how many people actually really think about this from day to day, but a lot of us developers, we use these tools, right? We use um, all these different languages and frameworks and libraries that are all open source, and those are on the shoulders of those maintainers every day, and we're always expecting a lot of those maintainers as well, and sometimes even holding them to very very high standards, considering that a lot of folks that are working in the open source community are not being paid to maintain their projects and work on their projects. It's not like they're getting a full-time salary for that necessarily. Obviously, some people are fortunate to be able to actually be supported in that way, but that's not always the case. And so, even these little bits, like us all coming together for 1 month of the year and just like hammering through the backlog of some of these projects can go a very, very long way. So I just kind of want to encourage everybody because, if you didn't realize, probably the programming language that you use is probably open source. All the libraries and frameworks, the popular ones are open source as well. And we wanna do our best to contribute if we can. So, as I mentioned before, you can register anytime in October 31st. Technically, registration opened back on September 26th. So, I registered at the end of the month. I registered last week. Actually, it might have been on the 26th. I think it was last Friday, I want to say, because I was live when I was registering. But I registered last week, so make sure you register. And then like I mentioned, GitHub and GitLab are the sites that they will be able to track your contributions through. So, what they have done over the years is they have implemented a system where the maintainers of projects should actually tag their projects. Okay. So they should tag their projects. That's going to be showing that they're participating in Hacktoberfest basically. So if you're going to GitHub, there's a topic for this, and I'm definitely going to go. Let me see if I can go and sign in. Am I signed in here? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna switch to this browser because it really wasn't no point. It really was no point in me using this one when I'm not signed in this one, so hold on. I'm gonna swap over. That'll be way nicer. Let's go back to Hacktoberfest. Okay, and I'm going to swap windows. Where is it? Okay. Let's remove this one and we'll present another. I don't know why the heck my camera don't want to focus on me. That's crazy, but that's a whole nother problem. Um, oh, stop that screen and share. Just the right one. Oh, here it is. Okay, this window. Yep. Okay, I think I have the right window now. So first and foremost, if I go to start hacking, I should already be signed in, honestly. Okay. But what I did want to do is we were looking at participation. So let's go right here where when you click on that link where it says GitHub or GitLab under the participation, that link actually takes you directly to the topic on those particular websites. So this is the Hacktoberfest topic. You can also go to github.com/topics/Hacktoberfest, and you'll be able to see this topic. I'm going to start actually. Oh, I'm not signed in. Beautiful. That's so weird because I was literally just signed in, but it's okay. But yeah, so I can go ahead and see all of the different projects that are actually tagged for Hacktoberfest. So it's kind of up to the project maintainers. They are supposed to tag their projects with Hacktoberfest. So you want to be looking for that topic. But as you can see, 132,879 repositories that are tagged with Hacktoberfest, and this is just on GitHub, okay? So there's a plethora of things, and that can definitely get you overwhelmed. So we'll talk a little bit about that, but that also means there's so many areas you could jump into. So many, so many. So, I love Free Code Camp. They right up at the top. I might try to do something for Free Code Camp, but yeah, there's plenty of options here. So there's a lot of things, and here's another tool. Oh my, ZSH. Z Shell, which I love so much. I'm actually going to be doing a workshop later today where we're going to be setting up our command lines using Z Shell. So that's funny that they're right up at the top as well. But if you're not familiar, Z-Shell is like customization for your terminal. I've been using it literally the entire time I've been a developer. Um, all my favorite stuff is at the top. Or hold on, like no, I was about to say, are they ever? They can't possibly be like um filter any of these based off stuff I'm interested in because I'm not even signed in. But yeah, free code camp. So there's a lot of different things here. Some of these are education based, some of these are libraries, tools, frameworks. Free code camp, for example, if you're not familiar with free code camp, the website itself is a platform where you can learn web development, front end and back end. You can learn Python and JavaScript. They also have machine learning content as well. I highly recommend Free Code Camp. But the thing about Free Code Camp is their website or their web application that they have online is a lot of different avenues to it. There's the actual web application itself. There's different exercises within the platform. So there's different things that you could potentially contribute to. Let's see. I won't spend too much time here, but I just want to kind of preview so you can see there's so many things. Um, I guess some of these are a little bit here, hide that. Some of these are a little bit more education based. Like this one is the algorithms, and it looks like it's literally like samples of how to implement specific algorithms in Python, right? So it says implementations are for learning purposes only. And it's basically Python implementations of various algorithms. So that's more of an educational one, right? That's more something where if there is a version of an algorithm that's not implemented, you could contribute that, or you could maybe contribute to some issues that they have. And that's pretty much where you want to go, regardless of any of the projects that you look for. Once you find something that is under the Hacktoberfest tag, then the next thing you're going to want to do is go over to the issues on that project. And again, y'all, I don't really use GitLab, so my apologies if it's different with GitLab. But either way, you should still be able to find the issues logged under a project, and that's pretty much where you really want to focus. So with the project being tagged with Hacktoberfest, now you wanna come in and see where is help needed, basically. And in this particular case, you can even see they tagged this issue with Hacktoberfest. So there's a lot of different tags that they're using to classify the different issues that they have. I'm just looking at, one repo in particular, but you definitely want to take a look at an issue and find something that you can possibly contribute to, maybe that you can help out with. So you're kind of scoping around to see, and you'll notice that you can kind of tell when you get into reading the issues whether or not someone is already assigned to it or attempting to be assigned to it. Okay. So, like in this case, I can see a couple hours ago, from when I'm looking at this, that someone actually asked to be assigned to the issue. So you're looking for open issues, you're looking for things you can contribute to, unless you literally already have a specific issue in mind, like you already have something set up with a project. You can scout out for issues that way, or for contributions that way. So that's what it looks like on GitHub. I'm actually kind of curious what I'll see on GitLab. So here's the Hacktoberfest topic on GitLab. And then, say, for example, I guess I can start with the one that's at top, the actual GitLab project. Um, do they? I'm just looking for somewhere that people would be posting issues. So it's not as apparent to me unless I'm just moving too fast. Um, oh, code merge requests. Okay. So on GitLab, it looks like if I'm looking at a project and I go under plan in this left hand bar, then I can see issues that way. And maybe I'm just missing it in the UI. But yeah, so they also have the issues, where you can come in here and find out what needs to be worked on. So yeah, make sure your pull requests are made to GitHub or GitLab, and the project maintainers have to accept your pull request or your merge request. So GitHub calls it pull request, GitLab calls it a merge request. It's the same thing. This is where you would be making a request in order for the maintainers to merge your code into the existing repository. So this has changed over the years. Your contributions are only going to count if they are accepted. Okay. So again, you're thinking about high quality. Make sure you get assigned to an issue. You don't want to be working on an issue that someone else might already have been working on, and then your code's not going to get merged because someone already has a solution in the queue ahead of you. And then this is, I don't know, I'm not gonna say this is new for this year, but this is the main thing, as far as a tangible outcome from our contributions. The first 50,000 participants, that will have their first PR merged or accepted are going to have a tree planted in their name through the Tree Nation. So this is what the organizers are doing through Hacktoberfest this year. So I think that's really great. A lot of people are familiar with having swag for Hacktoberfest and getting a t-shirt, if you complete a certain number of contributions, but they're not doing that anymore this year. That has officially ended. So I'm a little disappointed by that. Not because I don't care about like getting the free t-shirt per se, but I wish they were actually going to be like, I wish they just let us buy a freaking t-shirt. Like, I would buy a t-shirt, if I could, and I think that, if y'all watching for some way, shape, or form, Hacktoberfest organizers, like, at least give us swag to buy, because I would absolutely, and, like, donate the money to charity or something. I don't know. But, I think that, what they have mentioned, because I've been reading all over the website and everything as well, is that they wanna, be open to everyone that's contributing around the world now, and the logistics of it. And they just chose to not move forward with actually creating t-shirts, nor are we allowed to create any type of we're not allowed to make any type of products with the branding for Hacktoberfest. So fair warning, even if you see somebody selling like Hacktoberfest stuff, unless it's coming from the actual organizers, that's actually not allowed. And you can see more about that in the frequently asked questions. There are do's and don'ts as far as what we're allowed to do with the branding for Hacktoberfest as well. So, participation is basically a quote unquote successful participation would be to get 4 pull requests merged between October 1st and October 31st. And if we do get those, then we're going to get a unique digital award. They're doing like badges. And I've already gotten a couple of badges just for getting started with Hacktoberfest. So, but yeah, there's going to be a specific badge for everybody who actually completes the process. So I'm excited about that. Now, this is what I was mentioning as far as some of the resources. So, firstly, if you don't really know where to start, there is some great resources on just starting with GitHub and open source projects, and they have a lot of those linked on their website. Now, this is DigitalOcean is really like kind of the behind the scenes for Hacktoberfest. So a lot of these are going to link to DigitalOcean resources as far as blogs and tutorials. So you can definitely kind of lean on a lot of their tutorials if you're looking for that support. Like I mentioned, for me personally, I teach y'all. Y'all know I teach, so I'm going to be doing Git and GitHub workshops and terminal workshops and all kind of stuff, how to contribute to open source all throughout this month. And then there are going to be additional trainings that you can find on here as well. And now here are some of the rules. So you have to be careful with your contributions not being spammy because you can kind of get like blacklisted basically from having spammy PRs. So your PRs have to be written within the timeline of Hacktoberfest. So October 1st through October 31st. Um, Repos that go against Hacktoberfest values will be excluded from qualification. So just keep that in mind. I mean, everybody has their own personal choices in life as to what you participate in, but just know that Hacktoberfest does want to make sure that the repositories that they are supporting actually fits their values as well. So I think that that's good for the betterment of the community overall. You cannot have spammy PRs. So, if a maintainer actually marks your PR as spam, then obviously it won't be counted. But I think, yeah, if you have 2 or more spammy PRs, then you as a user would be disqualified. So it's no reason to do that. Um, and that's at the disposal of the actual maintainers, the project maintainers themselves. So if you're just going in and just trying to like force yourself onto a maintainer, you can end up in the spam category. And this is new as well. Like I mentioned, you have to be in a Hacktoberfest tagged repository. So make sure that you are looking for a repository that has that tag on it. It can also have the Hacktoberfest accepted label as well. And then they will mark your invalid PRs, and they will also mark your accepted PRs. So once you have all of your 4, it'll take about a 7-day review period, but you'll get your confirmation, you'll get your verification that you participated. Mixie had asked what's a spam PR, so hopefully I did clarify that. But yeah, a spammy like spamming. Okay, so historically with Hacktoberfest, we didn't always have a Hacktoberfest tag that we had to contribute to. It was just any open source project, any public repository, basically. And then you also, in the past, you didn't have to get your PR accepted. You just had to open a certain number of PRs. So Yeah, in the past, people would basically just go around trying to either, like, do a bunch of one line pull requests, and whether or not it's gonna get merged, they would just do a bunch of those, or, yeah, maybe, like I said, trying to forcefully like, you see somebody's already working on the project, they're already working on the actual, issue, and then you still try to come behind them and contribute, interfering with their contribution process, but mostly it was literally people just contributing junk to repositories. So now the spam label allows the maintainers to mark people who are kind of abusing the process. I hope that's helpful to for as far as the explanation. And then, they have more information, so you can definitely take a look and see, a few more details as far as the nitty-gritty, but avoid submitting low quality PRs, right? So, take your time. It's not saying everybody's gonna be perfect, but if you're literally, you're writing some code that needs to actually be meaningful and produce good results in the repository. So don't just write, some nonchalant code. Um, and then, like I said, your PRs are going to have to get approved. So you are going to go through the review process just like any normal PR would. Maintainers do have responsibilities as well, as I mentioned. So that's why you want to make sure that you are working with a repository that, first of all, has the Hacktoberfest topic on the repository. They have to properly apply labels to the issues that they want help for in this month. So, like we saw with the free code camp one, take a look at the issues and see who has the Hacktoberfest label, right? Because if I go back to Free Code Camp and I look at their issues, somebody they had a label right here. I can actually click that label, Hacktoberfest, and now I can see right now, and the only open issue labeled Hacktoberfest for this repository is this particular one here. And this is GitHub. So on GitHub, if you want to do searches via the issues tab, is colon issue, is colon open, and then label colon Hacktoberfest, you could actually use um, these search parameters on any of the other repositories as well, just to kind of find that overlap. I don't think that they are restricting I don't think they're restricting contributions to the Hacktoberfest label on the issue per se, more so that as a maintainer, you should tag your, issues with Hacktoberfest if you're trying to, like, focus eyes on those, issues right now. And so, in the past, what we used to have, like, good first contribution or something like that. Basically, if you're coming in during Hacktoberfest, more than likely you don't already work on that project. So a lot of times, it takes time to come up to speed on the project and get familiar and things like that. So they may tag those projects, those issues with the Hacktoberfest label may be ones that are more beginner friendly. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's only beginner coder friendly, but more so that it's beginners to the project, friendly to beginners to the project. There should be a contributing.md file for the maintainers for their projects. So you should be able to see the contributing.md file or the markdown file and be able to understand exactly how do you contribute to the project. So again, I'm back here on the homepage for Free Code Camp. And in addition to having the link here, contribute.freecodecamp.org, that is on the repository, they still also have a contributing.md or a markdown file. So this markdown file no longer has any information besides linking you to that same URL. But again, that is a requirement for the maintainers. So when you come into a project and you're trying to figure out how are you going to make a contribution, they have to give you some type of guidelines on what the process should look like. Some of the things that you're gonna find in, the contribution guidelines are, um, basically what's the workflow look like. So most likely you're going to have to fork that repository, and then they may tell you the specific way to name the branch that you create. Um, they may tell you the specific way to condense if they want you to condense your all of your commits at the end. They may tell you that. They're going to tell you how you should submit your pull request, what information you should provide as a part of your pull request. So there's a lot of different overviews. They're going to tell you about getting the project up and running, um, things of that nature. So, yeah, so you definitely want to be looking for the markdown or the contributing.md file. It's gonna vary from project to project, but they definitely should be telling you exactly how to contribute. And Free Code Camp has pretty much always been open source and been around for the entire time that I've been a developer. So they have a very, very, very thorough contribution process, but as far as their documentation, but some may just be as simple as here's a quick markdown file. It tells you how to name your branch, what information they want in your PR, and then they'll tell you like how the process goes. But yeah, so that is a requirement for maintainers. Let's see. Okay. So there is also an encouragement for low or no code contributions. And depending on who you are and what is important to you, I think that this is really, really awesome as well. It's always kind of been a part of the process, but it's always something to highlight because one of the things that we struggle with the most in development, I would say, from my perspective, is documentation. So if I am new eyes on the project, a lot of times one of the most valuable skills I can bring in is I can see gaps in documentation that current maintainers might not necessarily see or may have forgotten about after a while because I'm coming in with fresh eyes. I've never seen a project before. So I may be going through the process of trying to get it up and running and finding out, oh, this step is out of date or this step is missing, etc. Right? So um, that can be a possibility for a no code or a low code contribution. So updating the README files for the projects, making sure there's documentation there. They also actually talk about low code contributions, including case studies, including user experience testing, like I said, technical documentation, technical blog posts, tutorials. So those are really awesome, especially if you are still wanting to highlight your technical skill set. But like me, I'm a teacher, so it's like technically. I keep saying technical, but technically, this actual podcast that I'm doing right now is a low code or really a non code contribution because this is still focused on Hacktoberfest, but I'm not writing actual code as a part of this, right? I'm just trying to expand the community and expand the education in the community. So think about that as well. Now that there is different, right? If you're looking for the actual code based contributions, then you probably want to lean more towards the low code because the low code contributions, such as the documentation that's contained in a repository, you're going to still most likely have, if it's in a repository, it's going to require a PR. So those are, that's going to be more so for anyone that wants that level of, I guess, gratification, if I could use that word. But if you just want to contribute, and you're open to slash you have the skill set in some of these other arenas, I highly recommend that as well. So social media posts, blog posts, video production, right? Even after I have this live stream, I'm going to make sure that this video become or that this content becomes a video so that other people who are looking throughout the rest of the month can have more information on how to participate. So, talks and presentations and event organization as well. So that's another thing that I'll talk about briefly. But there is a lot of support on the Hacktoberfest website for hosting a Hacktoberfest event. So you could host an in-person hackathon where everybody gets together and contributes to some projects. Or you could host like what I'm going to be doing. We're going to be doing some live streams throughout this month. So yeah, I'm going to be hosting some events, right? So those are non-code contributions. Now I'm going to write code at those events, but me as an organizer coming in and saying, hey, I'm going to put on this event. I'm going to, basically do all the legwork and get and have that and run that event. That is considered a non-code contribution as well. And when you do sign up for Hacktoberfest, you will have the ability. You'll actually have the ability to go ahead and say, "Am I a contributor? Am I a maintainer? Or am I like an event organizer?" Let's see. It's so weird that I accidentally signed myself out. I want to try to sign in. Oh, mobile. Perfect. I'm signing into my GitHub because I really want to make sure I can show some of these other features. Approve. Two-factor authentication is your friend, everybody. It's your friend. It's your friend. Okay, so I'm signed in. So what I want to do is I want to go back here and refresh. Let's go back to the top. Let's see. Okay, I'll go for a little bit longer. If I click start and initiate, I should already be authed. Yes. So I'm already authed because now I'm signed into my GitHub. So I'm already authed. So my profile already shows up. But again, if you have not signed up yet, then you're just going to go through and authenticate your GitHub or your GitLab account. So that's just a series of kind of like clicking through those prompts. So once you are all set up, like here, I can see my profile and I can see my progress. So there is tracking. And then, as I mentioned before, I already have a few badges for the event based off of just getting signed up. So I have a hollow pin avatar unlocked. I have 3 hollow pin badges unlocked. So, I got a DigitalOcean one, a Illa Cloud one, and an AppWrite one, and those are the partner, organizations for this year. So I know I saw these already, so I had actually seen them in, in my email. So I'm gonna go back later and see which badges I got. We can look at those on another session. But yeah, so now under here where it says pull and merge requests, this is where I would see any pull requests that I have submitted for this month. So the tracking is pretty much in real time. The profiles update every 15 minutes. So um if you're reloading the page every 15 minutes, if it's just in the background, they're going to upload every 6 hours. So when you are making your contributions, you'll be able to see those in real time. So all of that information is there. Now let's talk about events really quick and let me know before I wrap up if you have any questions about the participating in the event that I haven't covered yet. I'm going to look at events and then I'm going to talk about what events we're going to be hosting for this month. And I'll also do a couple of frequently asked questions that I may not have done just yet. So under the events category, again, if you're like me, you like to bring people together. You tend to be the meetup leader, whatever the case may be, chapter leader, board on your campus or whatever the case may be, right? They do have a lot of tools for event organizers, and I personally appreciate this because again, when you want to put on an event and you're volunteering to put on an event, it can be a lot to manage. But one thing I can say about Hacktoberfest is that they have a very thorough brand kit that you can use for contributing and setting your own event. You also are able to actually list your events with them. And so that's what I'm going to be looking forward to. I'm going to actually be setting up some of our workshops that we're going to have this month, and getting them listed on the Hacktoberfest site so other people can see them and contribute. So if I wanted to, now I can go in and see there's 150 events listed right now, and they're all over, right? Like, this is a Chinese event right here. So this happens all around the world now. And then there are physical events, like in-person events. There are digital events or, online events. So I can say I want to go to a digital event, um, and just kind of scroll through and see what's available. You can also choose the date. So I'm going to choose from like now, um, to the end of the month and see what kind of events are available. And you'll notice, like I mentioned, a lot of these events are using the same banners, the same information, because they have a brand kit that's available to you if you want to do something like that. So yeah, you can definitely do um a digital event, or you can do something in person. I highly recommend that if you like if you're on campus or something like that right now, go ahead and set up a little like a weekend, or even just a day where folks can get together, and work on projects. Let's see. Okay, so let's go back. I wanted to show you all the actual information. So you can download the event kit. I already have the event kit opened. But the event kit includes, like, let me see, where's my folder? Go here. I'm gonna tell you exactly what's in the folder for the event kit. Okay, so you have the brand guidelines. Here we go. So you're going to have the brand guidelines. These tell you exactly how to use the fonts, the typography, what the actual fonts are, the logos, what you are allowed to do, what you are not allowed to do with the logos. So like I mentioned, you are not allowed to make merchandise with the logos. So that's a no, that's a no-no, everybody. Like they already said we cannot make our own merchandise. So, respect the the organizers of the event, but we are allowed to use in promotional material, right? So when I made a thumbnail for this video today or for this live stream, then I can put the Hacktoberfest logo in the thumbnail for my live stream. But I cannot put it on a t-shirt. I can't put it on the sticker. So the Hacktoberfest graphics may be used in all promotional materials for events and projects, but may not be used on physical merchandise, for example, t-shirts, and not as a mark of endorsement on certificates or similar. So if you do have an event, you're not allowed to like give people certificates that has like the Hacktoberfest graphics on it. So you're not trying to endorse anyone with that branding. You are not allowed to sell items using the Hacktoberfest design. And the brand belongs to Digital Ocean, so any use is at their discretion. And they may ask you to stop if there's anything that they feel that you're doing doesn't agree with their usage of the brand. So there are do's and don'ts as far as the brand kit, right? So if you're going to put together a slide deck and you're going to put together promotional materials for your event, right? So you can use the key visual in any promotional digital graphic. You can open source your design so others can benefit, but you cannot create physical merchandise. You cannot use the Hacktoberfest logo to indicate an official endorsement. So no certificates on behalf of Hacktoberfest, and you cannot sell any items using the Hacktoberfest graphics. All right, so that's just the brand guidelines. They also have here a slide deck, which is really, really nice. I think for me personally, like having the logos and having the slide deck is like that's my main things because it can be very difficult to have to remember, or you have to come up with all that content for yourself. So Um, it's in a PowerPoint format, so I'm not gonna show it now, but yeah, you can download, and it has a full presentation template that you can just customize. It has all the different forms of slides, very similar to how this slide deck is kind of already put together. But they have a template for you to use. They have vertical, horizontal, and the main logos, all the different colors for the logos, and they have the icons as well. They have little do we see those in here? I don't think they show them in here, but they have little icons as well that they created for the event. So, there's a lot more that you can get out of that kit, but I do, encourage you if you're gonna host an event, go ahead and take advantage because that's a very, very, very great resource to have for sure. Alright, let's see. You can promote your events however you want, but, one of the main things to me that I think is great is that you can actually share your event through the Hacktoberfest, events page. So you could go ahead once you have everything figured out and set that up. And then on social media where they're using, you can tag at Hacktoberfest. This is their Twitter handle, or I guess it's technically X now. And you can use the hashtag Hacktoberfest or hashtag Hacktoberfest 2023. I'm more of an Instagram person. Like I use LinkedIn and I use Instagram. So y'all will see me posting like on Instagram and using the hashtag Hacktoberfest about different events. Okay. There's a code of conduct as well for anyone, just so you can make sure you're in alignment with the organizers and the vision of the event. And then here's even a couple sample posts. Like they give you a whole branding kit, y'all. I'm not gonna go too far into it, but they give y'all a whole branding kit. So there's no reason not to be able to put something together that looks really well organized and polished. Because they give you everything you need as far as that goes. All right. So I didn't see any more questions as far as things that I may not have covered. One of the questions I did want to make sure I covered, if I hadn't for sure, was can beginners participate? So again, if I didn't make it clear or if you missed that part, this is absolutely beginner friendly. Everybody is welcome. So there is all types of levels of contributions, whether it is submitting, to enhance the readme of the project so that it is actually, thorough documentation for how to onboard to the project, or whether it is, a very unique bug fix that you might be specialized in because you work with a tool for, a lot of time in your day to day. And then there is also non-code contributions. So something like me doing this podcast talking about the event is a non-code contribution. If you want to host a blog, if you want to post a YouTube video, something of that nature, those are all non-code contributions, and those are also encouraged. The last thing is that they have their Discord here. You are able to join their Discord server. There's usually like a voice channel that has music in it if you just want to go in there, have background music and code. There's different folks getting together, contributing. You can ask questions. So that is definitely a resource that I encourage you all to look into. And so, as we kind of get to the end of that, what I want to talk to you all about is the up and coming events that we have for this month. So, let's see. I thought I opened. Mm, 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 mm. I really want to. Can I do discord.com? How can I? I can. I want to go in my browser. Wait, I might have to swap again. Log in. Y'all don't gotta see me log in. Okay. So let's go. We'll go to the nursery just because I know I posted this in here. But the month of October, we have all of our events planned, and all of the dates. So I just want to give you all some information on those, as far as the main workshops. All right. So here's the full October schedule. Can I like make this any bigger? I don't know. Okay. So, on the 5th, which is today, basically, we're doing a podcast right now. We are also going to be doing a workshop this evening. So, I will have a workshop. I already have the page up and ready on my website for the workshop that's going to be available tonight. So, I'm going to be live for that. That is going to be command line fundamentals and terminal customization. So the way that the workshops are all set up online, like if you just have like a free account or whatever, then when you come to this page, you're going to see the live stream in the browser. You can actually open it up in YouTube if you would like to after the fact, but everything is always there. So for example, a previous workshop that we did 2 workshops so far, in the last couple months. So here's the, Git and GitHub pages one that we did, so you can see when it was live, you were able to watch it live from here, and then after the fact, the video is still available. So I can still go in, use all the YouTube controls that I would want to, things of that nature. So that is available to you. And then typically I'll come back in after the fact as well and post any additional resources. So even if you missed the workshop, you can come back after the fact and follow that material. So tonight we're going to be doing command line fundamentals. I wanted to start there just to make sure we feel comfortable from the command line because I'm going to get into Git and GitHub next week. And with Git and GitHub, I always teach that from the command line pretty much, almost exclusively. So I want to make sure we have our command line set and ready to go before we jump into that. So you'll be able to also get access to the Git crash course if you have like a supporter role on the website. And that's just for anyone that's looking for a more intermediate Git and OSS project workflow. Material that's more of a deep dive on Git on October. So that's like asynchronous. So that one does not have a date on there. On the 12th, we're going to do Git fundamentals. So that's going to be another evening workshop. Again, that one should already be all of these workshops. They already have pages for them, so you can kind of see which ones are showing up and on what days. But we'll be doing Git fundamentals next week, and then let's see. We'll do a Hacktoberfest event on the 19th. So this is going to be a live stream. So just if you want to come and work together with us, I'll be going live and I will also be able to help like answering questions and things like that. I'll probably make myself available like in the voice chat in Discord. So that way, again, if you want to ask questions, talk, hang out, chat, whatever, we can definitely do that. But I'll be live streaming on the 19th, specifically working on contributing to some open source projects. And then I'm going to have office hours on the 26th. So if you're getting towards the end of the month and you're trying to kind of like get some stuff over the finish line, maybe you have questions or a lot of material that we covered for the month, you'll be able to ask GitHub and open source contribution based type of questions during that office hours. So all of those dates are determined. And I had question marks here for this hackathon, but I just checked the dates right before I went live. So I can confirm this now. And I am going to be making sure contribute to this project this month. So Project Ricotta is hosted by Lasagna Love. Project Ricotta is the project I was mentioning earlier where we actually partnered with Girl Develop It and Project Ricotta earlier this year and kicked this off with a hackathon, but they are going to be hosting another hackathon this month. So I have the flyer here. And what we're doing is continuing to complete the MVP for the Lasagna Love portal. If you're not familiar, Lasagna Love basically connects people um, with with resources as far as food goes. So if you, for in any way, shape, or form, just need a lasagna for the day, budget is tight, time is tight, whatever the case may be. It's a volunteer organization where folks will you can sign up and someone will deliver a lasagna to you. That's kind of how it works. But the actual portal is being completely revamped, and the new portal is being built completely open source. This project is very, very beginner friendly. Like I mentioned back in, I think March when we did our first hackathon, what we really wanted to do is make sure it was beginner friendly. So a lot of folks that contributed, it was their first time ever, even contributing to a tech project, let alone contributed to an open source project. So yeah, we're trying to get that MVP over the finish line. There is a lot of work for the front end in the portal, and you can see a little bit more information. So the projects included, we're looking to complete the rest of our MVP for our front end pages for the Lasagna Love volunteer portal. The pages include the main dashboard, notification center, matching pages, resource links, and account information. So once signed up, you will be grouped into teams and you'll be able to pick which project you want to tackle, and then bonus points if you complete more than one project. So the Thursday, October 12th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time is going to be the kickoff for this event. And so that's going to be a time to join virtually, meet with your teammates, and get an intro to the project. And then the teams will be working together over the course of between Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then on Sunday, October 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to have presentations and judging for those that participated in the event. Um, so you can have your presentation be live or pre-recorded. In that case, you would just have to send in your presentation recording by 3 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday. And then the basic skill sets are going to be basic front end coding skills. There's no expertise needed. And there are going to be folks that will be able to just support that process that are already contributing within the community. So I will be sharing this. I'll share this information in Discord for anyone that is interested as well. And I will put a link to like a Discord invitation if you want to join, and that way you can get more of this info. I'll probably put this I'm not gonna say probably. I will go back. If you're on Twitch, you can just do exclamation mark Discord and you're going to get a Discord link in the chat. If you're on LinkedIn or YouTube, I'm going to put an invitation link on the video in the comments so that you can just kind of follow if you want to join us through Discord. If you also want to reach out to me like directly, you can. Again, if you're on LinkedIn, you can just send me a DM. If you're on YouTube, just leave a comment. But I'm going to go back as soon as I get done and just update the video description so you all have access to Discord if you want to come and ask more questions and things of that nature. So those are the main things I wanted to cover. Again, I'm going to be live here tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern time to work on our command line customization. I can't lie, mine's, even though my Z Shell is set up, I haven't really done a setup from the ground up in a long time. And it's not really as customized as I would like it to be right now. So I'm excited about it. But I know some people have never done it before. So I'm looking forward to hosting that for you all. And yeah, I'm just grateful for everybody being here. I appreciate it. We're doing this every week now. And for anybody that's following me on Twitch or YouTube, I'll be live again tomorrow, Friday, just with a co-working session. So I will be happy to see you there. We can chat, talk about projects. Otherwise, I'll see you at another workshop. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, and I'll see you all soon.